Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside Genie, where we'll be previewing the race meeting from Kenilworth today, the 18th of November, on the winter course. We start off with race one, which is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Just want to wait for this quickly to open up. I had it open up just now, but as usual, we have to wait. All right, here we have the favorite, number two, Arctic Ice, 13 to 10. 7 to 2, Lady Catherine, Duchess of Darcy, 7 to 1. Voice Note, 7 to 1, 15 to 2, Adira. Glacier Gold, 8 to 1, 12 to 1 after the storm. Regards to all 33 to 1 and longer the rest. Scratching this number 9 and number 12. Please note in this race, when I made my selections, I didn't take in account any of the first timers as I'm not uh, I don't know the breeding and the ability. But in my view, number two, Arctic Ice, will be too strong for them. It will take a good one to beat him because this horse has been running quite well. If you have a look here at, his first race, 12 runners, 2 winners, 14 runners, 2 winners, 14 runners, 1 winner, 11 runs, 2 winners. So, and when you look at that column, it only indicates the horses that won directly after this race. There might have been horses behind that has maybe took 1 or 2 more runs and have won some races. So I think Arctic Eyes in this field today will be very hard to beat. Outside of selections, number 5 is After the Storm. This horse just had one run. It's a Duke of Marmalade filly by McCockney. Yeah, didn't do too badly. It finished 5 lengths on her first debut run, and I think can improve today. And my other outsider selection is number 7, Glacier Gold, in the same class as number 5. Also debuted well, not too far behind, lost 1 length, and I think, that ran on fastest 400 to finish 24.6. So I think Glacier Gold will definitely be involved in the finish today. I just want to mention, I also think number one's biggest opposition might come from number 3, Lady Catherine, because this horse also has run, you look here, 12 runs, 1 win, 14 runs, 2 wins, 7 runs, 1 win. So this horse, Lady Catherine, has also run against some decent opposition. So you might find that the race has been fought between number 2 and 3. That is saying that if there's not a first timer that has got big ability, Dennis Dreyer, he goes to Cape Town every year. This is his first run at Sussex of success, and it looks like a nicely bred filly. I'm not sure because I think this would seems that this horse will need a bit of distance because I know Ray well, and I think she did one over the longer distances, but I am not sure about that. So keep an eye on for Duchess of Success. Dennis Drying now sending out his first runner in Cape Town. And that is always a sign that the Cape season are about to start. We're all looking forward to that. The next few months is going to be exciting. Race 2, we have another maiden plate over 1,400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 1, Double Charge, 2 to 1, Warrior, 28 to 10. Green Light Flash, 11 to 2. Iakuru is 12 to 1. Super Duke, 12 to 1. 13 to 1, Burra, 14 to 1, Tara IT, and 16 to 1, and longer the rest. Well, here my choice is number 1. It's a 4-year-old twice over, has had 7 runs, have been running well, and have been placed quite often his last few runs. And I think today is due for his win. Grant van Niekerk on board. He's got a nice high strike rate, so definitely the horse to beat in this field. My outsider selection is number 4. Number 4 improved nicely last time. I did recommend it last time that I think this horse will improve over the longer distances. Now going 1400 meters and just got run out of it at the end. So I think Boomerang also definitely in with a chance. Last time out was 100 to 1, but I did say watch out for this horse for improvement. And then my other outsider selection is number 10. Tara IT also went to the front last time out, and I know this breeding, it's the dam feeling she has bred some nice horses. So based on that, I think the 1400 meters, if Greg Shane can maybe restrain the horse a little bit, but last time out he did came from draw 8, so maybe he never had another option but to go to the front. Today is draw 2, so we can decide either go to the front or place the horse and run on at the end. And that is my selections for race number 2. Let's move on to race number 3, maiden by fillies and mares over 1400 meters. And here we got the favorite 19 to 10 Wild Creature, Cherry Jam 28 to 10, 4 to 1 Karoo Winter, 12 to 1 Gaily Girl, 14 to 1 and longer the rest. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we've got a few horses at the top, and I think most of them have chances. My selection is number 4, Cherry Jam, another Duke of Marmalade fillies. I like this Duke of Marmalade fillies by VAR. This horse came last time out and ran a 22.9, fastest 400 to finish over the 1250. The 1400 meters, I think, will shoot this horse down to the ground, and I'm looking for Cherry Jam to run a huge race today. Outsider selections, number 2, Valgardina has been running there and thereabouts, and yeah, from draw 4, I believe this horse can, flash up for the placing, so definitely a horse to include. And then my other outsider selection is a horse. Um, Number 7, Go Lightly. Number 7, Go Lightly also improved last time at the 80 to 1. He ran a very improved race behind the Electric Star. Drawn 3 today. Look for this horse to run on. Don't exclude him. Put him in all your quartets and trifecta selections. Maybe not strong enough to win the race, but can definitely place. Yes, but then there are other horses, Career Winter and Wild Creature. Wild Creature, the favorite, also from the Candace Bass Robinson stable, has got a stable elect on board. So I think that might be a nice exacta 4 and 5 to take a few times. Karoo Winter also was back last time out, but ran a really dismal race, was handy, but then faded out. Not sure what went on, what went wrong, but maybe one can ignore that run and give him a chance again today. So definitely also a horse you want to include in your calculations. Then we move on to race number 4, which is a Pinnacle Stakes. And here the betting is as follows. Um, Number 3, 7 gear 17 to 10. Knights Templar 7 to 2. Capiora 4 to 1. Love Happens 5 to 1. Azores 9 to 1. Helen's Ideal 9 to 1. 20 to 1 Man About Town. Now, here one must always take note of the best weighted, which is Helen's Ideal, then Capera, Man About Town, 7 gear, and Love Happens. And I am also going, not because they tipped it, but because of my own assessment. Helen's Ideal, only carrying 51 and a half. This horse, I don't know, I don't think this horse can remember the last time that she carried 51 and a half in a race. So I think with this lightweight, if this jockey just can restrain himself, not take the horse to the front, but sit maybe second and third, and then let the horse run on, because this horse also has got speed, did run on well over the 1200 meters. So but I think if he's going to take it to the front, he's going to kill it. But if he can sit second or third and then run on, I think Helen's Ideal will be a huge runner in this race with that handy weight. I just want to quickly see if there's any. Doesn't look like there's any horse that goes normally to the front. So he's probably going to take the horse to the front. Yeah, maybe. But then my other horse that I like is Capera. Capera also ran well in Durban. His last run was in the July. Now making his debut now after a few months rest, and I think But this horse has run against the best in the country. Definitely a horse that you can't leave out. The favorite is number 37 Gear, but I think there's a horse that was run against stronger opposition than 7 Gear. But he is on a hat trick, not without a chance. A horse that I'm looking to improve is Azores. This horse did won well and then went to Durban where he didn't fare too well. Now back in the Cape, and I'm looking for him to improve. Maybe a nice horse to put into your quartets and trifecta selections. So let's move on to race number 5, where we have a fillies and mare 76 handicap over 1950. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 4, Marino 2-1, double reward 72, twice the quality 4-1, Feinball 61, Power Gold 10-1, and 16-1, and longer the rest. Now here my selection is number 1, double reward. I think double reward, we're looking here at a class D73. Double reward has run in strong opposition last few runs. And I think I really like the look of the last one, 23.5, stayed on. Grant van die Kerk again, it looks like he got a few nice rides, and I'm looking for double reward to go in again today. Then we have my outsider selections. Um, Number 2, Fynbos. Fynbos runs the odd race now and good race now and then. Last time out, not so good behind Boldiva, but then the run before that, behind Power Girl, it always seems like she run one good run, one bad run. So maybe today is a chance again for the good run. Then number 3, Winter's Awakening. Also a horse that's always thereabouts, um, running in this class, has run a few places, can be involved in the finish. Here's the Marina. I think this horse is nicely bred. Guy Fortuna has found some good foals. This horse won well on her debut and not without a chance. Carrying 57, so can go in. It's not definitely it's not without a prey. So it can be a good fight between number 1 and number 4. So let's move on to race number 6, where we have a fillies and mares handicap. Over 1600 meters. We have a few scratchings. Number 1, 5, and 6, all scratchings I see now. Number 5 is also scratched. That was so that anyway. The favorite here for Printia Marine 14-10, 2-1 Dazzling Sun, Marmelisa 2-1, 2 pennies 6-1. Yeah, and the rest is scratched. So there's only now 4 horses left in this race. Oh, okay. And they say there's a thing that says the smaller the field, the bigger the upset. Now, my first selection, even before the scratching, was number 7, 2 pennies. The day 2 pennies debuted, I did say in my preview that she was my first selection based on her breeding, and I'm going to stick with it. Last time out, she had an awkward start. I watched the race. She was never in the race. The jockey didn't persevere with her, but I think 2 pennies racing from 52.5 in this field is going to be a huge runner. All the other horses has also just now won their maiden, so they can be, like anything. Number 4 is also nicely bred, can also go in again, did win well. But yeah, my selection, number 7, 2 pennies. So there's not a lot to talk about in this race, only 4 runners, so I'm just going to stuck with number 7. Then we move on to race number 7 at 1200 meters over merit rate at 90. Let's have a look at the betting. Betting as follows. Number 3, Gainsford 18-10. Moonrock 3-1. Via Solara 11-2. Falgrid 8-1. Aqua Bolt 10-1. Mr. Cops 11-1. 13-1. And longer the rest. So here we have the class B, minute rate at 88. And my first selection is number 7, Mr. Cops. Mr. Cops has been running well in his last two races, 23.1, 22.6, running on over the 1,000 meters. And I think the 1,200 meters will suit him down to the ground, kicking the Melo on board. This horse always, has run some huge races against a good opposition. And I think Mr. Cops today, it will be the day for Mr. Cops to stand in the number one box. Outsider selection that we can have a look at is number one, Via Solara. That's also another Dennis Dry runner, has done well in KwaZulu-Natal, and I'm expecting there today to be involved in the finish. And then also number five, Power Grid. This 7-year-old also never knows when to give up. He's always there, always involved in the finish, and today can be no different. So, and one of these days he's gonna, he's hasn't won for 858 days, but I can tell you one of these days he's gonna hit the front again. I remember him when he won. I think he won 3 or 4 races in quick succession, and then thereafter it was just battling. But he's slowly coming down in the ratings, and I'm sure one of these days he can find a field that he can, that he can win in. Let's move on to race number 9, race number 8, sorry. The last race is a merit rated 74 handicap, Class D, average merit rating 72. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have Double Rainbow again, Dennis Dreyer 3-1, Waterman 7-2, Lion of Power 7-1, Alaska Knight 15-2, Matthew the King 8-1. Wow. When I did my selection, this horse was 12-1. And now all of a sudden there's money for this horse. That is a good sign. Alpha Papa 10-1, 14-1, Faithful, Double Alliance 14-1, 16-1, and longer the rest. Well, the reason why I sound so surprised because Matthew the King was my first, if well, not was, is my first selection. And when I did my studying of the form, this horse was at 12-1. Now 8-1. So Matthew the King did debut. It was the very first runner of Leo the King, and he duly won. And Shaboom has come out and won again. And yeah, and then he ran a good race behind Eddie the Red, and it really looks promising. But somewhere along the line, the wheels fell off. But last time he ran a very improved race, and that to me is very encouraging. And I'm looking for Matthew the King to today to improve on the last run and stand in the number one box when the photos are taken. Outside the selection is number 4, Double Alliance. Also, a horse that runs places often, and I think very underrated. This jockey, he really tries hard, Ashby, and I think this horse is improving and maybe can be involved in a finish. If he just also ran 22.5 last time out behind Shinnecock, and the race before that was also running on fastest 400 to finish. So definitely a horse that you want to include in all your calculations, as is number 10, Line of Power. It's also another Greek Indian horse. You might want to take the swingers and exactas with Matthew the King. Line of Power, 2 rounds back, won his maiden. And last time out wasn't, disgraced again. Miss Millstream ran a nice race, and I think I can improve from there. So that brings us to the end of our preview. I hope I could point you in the right direction, and as I always say, break a leg.